What's good, fam? Out here getting it in. Just gonna do this little video real quick, just to basically explain to you all what core aeration is and how I'm actually core aerating my brother's yard right now. Let me turn this camera around. All right, so this is my brother's yard. Got a pretty nice sized yard, and it goes around to the other side over there. But basically, that's where I'm at now. That's the core aerator. That's a Ryan Lanier aerator. Let me show you all the aerator real quick. On the back here, you got the tines. And basically your tines are, as you can see, those are what actually pulls your plugs out of your core aeration. You can actually see right there that there's a plug there. There's plugs there. So it's basically pulling plugs out of the soil. It does have a roller here on the front. I don't have any weights or anything on this one because I rented this one. But you can put weights on here. You can put water on your roller and it'll give it more weight. That way your aeration would be a lot deeper into the soil to actually pull deeper plugs out. How's it going, sir? So you got a roller here on the front. You got your tires here on the back. And basically what you're doing, my brother's lawn was real compact. Let me see if I can go over here. There was an area, I'm not sure who was doing this yard at first, but they came and they put down some seed. And basically, because the soil was so compact, the seed didn't actually get down into the soil how it needed to actually start to germinate. So it germinated on top of the soil. And when I say that, as far as like making sure your stuff is not compact, if you look, you see how that kind of looked like, it almost kind of looked like fungus, but it's not. It's not fungus. It's basically just because the soil was so compact that the seed didn't actually get a chance to grow roots down deep into the soil. So it actually started to sprout on top of the soil. And this is what you have. So I just basically told my brother, before I put anything else on your yard, I'm going to aerate, because no matter what I put on your yard, it's not going to get down deep into the soil how it needs to. See, look at that. That's not how that grass is supposed to be. So the people that were taking care of his yard wasn't doing what they were supposed to do. Look at that. Like I say, that's not fungus or anything. The soil was just too compact. So basically, I've already did a couple lines of aerating, and as you can see here on the lawn, you can see these plugs, and you can see those holes that the core aerator is putting into the yard. And like I say, basically what that's doing, that's opening up the soil for your nutrients and everything to get down to the root zone of your grass, your seeds, your weed killer, and everything like that. But you can see all of those plugs, like these right here. These plugs here, that the aerator, that's basically just soil that is pulling up and just depositing back onto the yard. You don't have to rake these up because it is just soil. You can let it decompose back into the lawn. What I usually do, if I aerate, I'll leave these on the lawn and basically just take the lawnmower and just go over them and just, cut them up a little bit. That way they can decompose a little bit quicker back into your soil. But that's all it is. You're just basically poking holes or pulling plugs out of your soil to help with the compaction and loosen your soil up. So that's really all you're doing. And like I said, you want to core aerate depending on where you are. Like, look at that. Like whoever was doing my brother's yard, they lazy. Look, you see that? Now when I do my videos at home, and you try to pull the grass up at home, like we can go and look at some of his zoysia grass. You see how tight that is? You know what I mean? I'm barely pulling any of his tall fescue grass and it's just coming straight up, you know. So like I say, little tidbits and little things like this, they make a huge difference in your lawn. I couldn't even put a 4-inch screwdriver into his soil without pushing all of my weight on it. That's how I know his lawn was compact. So this is basically what you want to do. If your soil is very compact, if you can't take a 4-inch screwdriver, a 4-inch flathead, or, well, actually I'll use a 4-inch Phillips screwdriver, and push that screwdriver down into the soil with just your thumb. I actually got a video of me doing it in my lawn. But if you really can't push that down with your thumb and not really put a whole lot of muscle behind it, that means your soil is too compact. And this is still wet, look. You see that compaction? And this is still wet because we had rain. So he still have wet spots in his yard. But I should be able to basically push in on this, and my fingers should be able to sink down in that. Look, I'm putting the weight on it and everything. That soil is too compact. There's nothing that's going to be able to get down into that soil. I'm sorry, I rotated the phone. But nothing, no nutrients or anything can get into that soil. And that's why you have some yards that look like they're okay at the top, but they're really not. And that's why some people actually try to let their grass grow 4 and 5 inches, and they cut it high because their soil is compact. The root zone of the soil is not really developed properly, and they're basically just trying to do an illusion that, yeah, you know, I got all this beautiful grass, this beautiful lawn, but, you know, the lawn is not as established as it should be because they don't core aerate, or they haven't core aerated or anything like that. So I'm gonna get back to work, but just show you these plugs. But this is what you need to do. At least, if not once a year, depending on what area you're in, how your soil is. My brother here got a little bit of clay and sand in his soil. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a nice aeration of his. But if you need help or if you have any questions or anything like that, let me know. One love.